Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Ken Rogers. On this week's program, we talk with Kansas native Tanner Ehmke. He is the manager of CoBank's Knowledge Exchange Division. We take one more look at 2020 and what we might see and what they think we might see in 2021. We also have features from Kansas Corn, Kansas Wheat, and the Kansas Farm Bureau, plus our weekly update from Kansas Livestock Association and market information from Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom. Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, kfb.org. And the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat, online at kswheat.com. In agricultural news from agview.net, Kansas Farm Bureau earned a New Horizon Award for the planning and implementation of Kansas Farm Bureau health plans at the American Farm Bureau Federation's virtual convention recently. The award recognizes states that the most innovative new programs. KFB also received awards of excellence in all four program areas of advocacy: engagement and outreach, leadership and business development, and membership value. Dickinson County Farm Bureau's Ag Story Walk was one of 12 County Farm Bureau programs to receive recognition of AFBF as part of the County Activities of Excellence. Jackie Mund of Pratt County won the Young Farmers and Ranchers Excellence in Agriculture Award. She receives a new Ford pickup. And Garrett Love, farmer from Gray County, placed third in the YF&R discussion meet. John Budenhoff of Lincoln County competed in the YF&R Achievement Award, and Kansas-based Rowe Shaver Systems was a semifinalist in the Ag Innovation Challenge. Now, in other business, Rich Feltz, Montgomery County farmer, re-elected to the AFBF Board of Directors. Marietta Hauser from Grant County, re-elected to the AFBF Women's Leadership Committee. And April Castle from Lynn County was elected secretary of the AFBF YF&R Committee. Well, Cuba could be buying a whole lot more poultry, corn, dairy, and other commodities produced in the U.S., but first, the U.S. needs to reverse course and begin strengthening ties with the island nation. Well, that's the message from some of the largest American farm groups. They sent a letter to the Biden administration. 23 farm groups and state departments and companies, including the U.S. Rice Federation, the National Corn Growers, American Soybean Association, the U.S. Grains Council, U.S. Wheat Associates, National Potato Council, and the National Association of Wheat Growers signed on to the letter. Cuba imports about $2 billion worth of ag commodities every year, but the U.S. gets only about 10% of that business, despite the fact the two countries really are so close. The U.S. lies only about 100 miles north of the communist country, but financing, shipping, and other restrictions have reduced trade opportunities. More ag news, agview.net. Stay with us. More in a moment. Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Livestock Association, supporting members' business interests and meeting consumer demands. KLA.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. And Kansas Corn, building the future at kansascorn.com. And Tanner Ehmke, who is the manager of CoBank's Knowledge Exchange Division, is joining us, kind of taking a broad look at kind of conditions and the research they're doing kind of moving forward. We talked just a little bit about the proteins. That's been another one that has been a challenge due to the pandemic, but we also saw some see expansion, which was kind of unusual.
Yeah, I think going back to China here is the impact is going to be felt in animal proteins definitely with the expansion of the hog herd. We've seen hog prices in China's interior dropping, and so that's a signal early on that we see that they're going to be backing up or slowing down rather their imports from the U.S. of pork and poultry. Those have really been the big winners. They have beef has also participated in that. But we've got a situation playing out where we think in 2021 across the animal protein sector, we're going to see stress on prices, more downside risk than upside risk. I would say on live cattle and lean hogs and also on poultry. And so that is going to be coinciding with the higher cost environment on feed. And so heading into that environment, it's important that producers take the necessary risk management steps to lock in profits or margins when they are there, because we could see that situation turn quickly if we have an oversupply situation here in the U.S. At the same time, when we are not seeing the restaurant industry coming back from COVID. And we send a lot of our animal protein and dairy products through the food service channel. And as long as we continue to see COVID-19 cases increasing and the death numbers increasing and state and local governments imposing restrictions and people just choosing by themselves, irrespective of policy, to not go to restaurants and to consume food through those food service channels, that's going to be a negative on animal protein consumption and dairy consumption through those channels. Now, the winner here has been through grocery sales. That's been the upside. But when you've got this supply chain, we have a supply surplus situation, and you're not seeing the recovery in the restaurant industry, then you've got to start looking for other export channels as the relief valve on those supplies. And so it's going to be important that we have a weakening dollar and more importantly, good trade policy with these these markets and emerging economies that demand our high quality beef.
I do want to maybe just take a half step back, ask you about corn. We saw, again, big numbers of corn, at least in planted acres, yields off just a little bit, we're going to find. But with this new administration seemingly wanting to do more with renewables, at least for the short term, before maybe they go to even more extremes with electric, will there be a fight for corn? I mean, as far as to make sure that there's enough for ethanol, there's enough for livestock feed, and when we see an expansion of acres, we've kind of heard, seen reports where farmers are indicating even more corn, but yet again, we have groups that are saying, yes, we're going to plant more soybeans, but over the years, Tanner, that has not come to fruition.
Yeah, ethanol is going to be it's going to be in the linchpin, as it always is, between agriculture and the environment, or the groups that are wanting to control climate change, right, and reduce carbon emissions. Now, I think we'll see where that ends up. Fundamentally, the factors are there for continued reduced consumption of fuels because people are staying home. Those fundamentals are intact, and we don't see that going away. Now, if a Biden administration were to perhaps increase the blending mandate or to allow for more ethanol consumption, that would be a positive. But that would be against a very strong headwind of a consumer who does not drive as much. And a lot of those cars are parked for good. People don't commute to work very much. I'm working from home. So that would be a very powerful headwind. And so it would come down to, again, the export markets if we're going to grow that industry.
Well, Tanner, we always appreciate your insights, and thank you so much for giving us an update and the view from CoBank and the Knowledge Exchange Division of what's going on. So always good to catch up with you.
Thanks, Ken. Likewise. It's good to see you.
Tanner Ehmke, who is the manager of CoBank's Knowledge Exchange Division, has joined us. Stay with us. We'll have more coming up. Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com. And agview.net, serving the Beef Belt and Western Corn Belt with reliable and relevant agriculture information. agview.net.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
And joining us now is Tanner Ehmke, who is the manager of CoBank's Knowledge Exchange Division. Hi, Tanner.
Hey, Ken. Great to be back.
It seems like this has become an annual event, but there's always good things to talk about. You all do a great job in finding insights on what's going on in a number of subjects. And so in our interview, let's just kind of touch all the bases, if you will. We could be very cliche and say 2020 was a year we want to forget, but there were some bright spots in agriculture, but we look ahead and it's almost like there's a lot of uncharted territory coming our way.
Well, yeah, let's start with the bright spots. 2020 was obviously a tumultuous year, but we're going to be ending the year on in a much improved position on net farm income. Now, where did that income come from? Over a third of it came from the government. And what's the likelihood of that money being around next year? Well, 2021 is not an election year. And so it's a lot less likely that we're going to see the MFP payments, the CFAP payments, the PPP loans, the USDA purchases for the food box program. All of that is probably going to go away, if not diminish, just completely go away. And so the positive here is we're going into 2021 in a much improved market position on the grain side of things. We've seen a significant rally that our research is indicating those fundamentals are here to stay for quite some time. If you look at what's going on, clearly China is the gorilla in the room that is driving a lot of this, and what's going on over in China that is causing them to purchase so much of our grain. Well, you've got an expanding hog herd that continues to grow, and as they recover very quickly from the African swine fever. Almost half their hog herd was lost to ASF, and they're quickly rebuilding. And how are they rebuilding? The herd this time is going to be significantly different. It's no longer the backyard hogs of onesies and twosies where they're fed table scraps. This new hog herd in China is under roof. It's commercial production, and they're fed a more controlled diet of corn, soybeans, or soybean meal, dry whey. That's going to be that's a feed additive. And so as that hog herd recovers, they're demanding as it continues to recover, they're going to continue to demand more feed. And this is coming at a time when the Chinese lost a significant portion of their own feed grain crops due to typhoons and floods earlier this year. This coincides with La Nina and some production issues in South America and obviously here in the U.S., which also coincides with a weakening U.S. dollar and a strengthening Chinese yuan. So the Chinese are in a position to buy our exports or to buy our grains on export on the cheap. Our exports are on sale because of our weakening dollar. And some of the forecasts out there, depending upon who you talk to, are calling for the U.S. dollar to continue weakening next year. The most bullish forecast I've heard is a weakening of about 20% throughout 2021, which is extremely bullish. That would be extremely bullish on U.S. commodities, and I doubt that would happen. I'm very skeptical of it dropping that much. But if we continue to see a drop in the dollar of 5 to 10%, that is putting our products on sale even more. It's going to attract even more export bids. So that's great for the grain sector. Not so great if you're a grain buyer in the U.S., if you're making ethanol or feeding cattle or pigs and chickens or dairy cows. That is not the higher feed prices are going to be compressing margins. So it would be a negative in that regard, but it's definitely a positive for crop producers.
Tanner Ehmke is the manager of CoBank's Knowledge Exchange Division. More to talk about. We're going to focus probably more on the livestock side. We'll do that in just a moment.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Hi, this is Sharon Thielen, Director of Education for Kansas Corn, and this is your Kansas Corn Update. Kansas Corn STEM has done a great job of supporting teachers across the state the last 4 years, averaging around 1,200 teachers using our resources. We're very excited that this spring we're going to roll out a new program called the Kansas Corn We Grow Corn Library Series, focused on public libraries. We created a We Grow Corn book about 4 years ago, and our focus now is getting that book not only in our schools, but now into our public libraries. We know public libraries are trying to get students and people from the community into their building, and so we have broken this book down into 6 different segments, providing snacks, different activities, videos, all educating people about how we grow corn in Kansas and how agriculture plays a big role in the economy of Kansas. So any of you that have a public library in your community, we really encourage you to visit wegrowcorn.com and get your library excited about incorporating education about corn in their library program.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Imagine turning soybean oil, used cooking oils, and waste animal fats into fuel so amazing it drives U.S. jobs and our economy forward. Learn more about biodiesel at americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
High school seniors pursuing careers in agriculture are encouraged to apply for the 2021 Herb Clutter Memorial Scholarship. The scholarship was established in 2009 to honor Herb Clutter's influential role in organizing leadership groups on behalf of Kansas wheat producers and is administered by the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Thanks to the generosity of the Herb Clutter family, the scholarship was increased to $1,000 beginning in the 2020 academic year. The scholarship fund will award one $1,000 scholarship per year to a college or university-bound incoming freshman from Kansas pursuing a career in the field of agriculture. Recipients will be selected based on academic achievement, leadership qualities, and career objectives focused around the field of agriculture. The Herb Clutter Memorial Scholarship was established through a fund in memory of Herbert W. Clutter, a farmer from Holcomb and the first president of the National Association of Wheat Growers. Clutter encouraged Kansas wheat farmers to organize as a strong, unified voice, which led to the formation of the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers in 1952. He encouraged research in education and industrial uses of wheat, improved variety development, and methods to produce the best product at the lowest cost. Clutter's efforts led to the formation of the Kansas Wheat Commission by the Kansas Legislature in 1957. Applicants of the Herb Clutter Memorial Scholarship must complete the scholarship application, which includes a 400 to 500 word essay discussing why they have chosen to pursue a career in agriculture. The selection committee will use this essay, along with the student's application, in determining the scholarship winner. The deadline is March 12th. The scholarship application is available at kswheat.com/clutter.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and LibertyLink that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Bill Karp began farming at the age of 13 with the purchase of 2 pigs. Now, he and his wife Joy, along with the help of their 2 sons, farm more than 3,400 acres in Sedgwick and Pratt counties. They grow corn, soybeans, wheat, and milo. Bill and Joy have both served on the Sedgwick County Farm Bureau Board and have filled roles on the Marketing and the Environment and Natural Resources Committees. They've also attended numerous KFB events, and their sons are active in FFA and Collegiate Farm Bureau. The couple believes in supporting small family farms and advocating for agriculture. They are excited for the future of farming and have enjoyed seeing the growing trend of local producers connecting directly with consumers.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
The Federation of State Beef Councils, on behalf of the Beef Checkoff, has partnered with the Daytona International Speedway to sponsor the 40th season opening race for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The Beef It's What's for Dinner 300 will air on Fox Sports February 13th at 4 p.m., the day before the 63rd annual Daytona 500. According to National Cattlemen's Beef Association Federation Division Vice Chair Clay Bertram, a rancher from Oklahoma, this sponsorship celebrates all that ranchers have overcome in the last year. 2020 was a historic year for beef, which demonstrated Americans continue to choose beef as their preferred protein. With production support from NCBA, this historic partnership provides an opportunity for the Beef It's What's for Dinner brand to return to broadcast television for the second time since 2003. In December, Beef It's What's for Dinner returned to television after 17 years, airing a limited number of ads on the Hallmark Channel during the holidays. In addition to production support, NCBA will be hosting a satellite media tour featuring celebrity chef Hugh Acheson. Chef Atchison will be interviewed by television and radio stations across the country to talk about the Beef It's Was for Dinner 300 and share delicious beef recipes.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Good morning. I'm Darren Van Vactor with Pinion, division of K-Coe Isom. The grain markets as a whole have had a different look after the long weekend. For the first time in a while, we've had a few consecutive down days. In some other circumstances, this would look more burdensome. But right now, we are sitting in the upper ranges of the last 5 years for corn, soybeans, and wheat. It is definitely worth noting there is a potential fundamental reason for the move, as South American weather has been closely monitored and heavily debated. One can find a narrative for either side of things regarding conditions. It appears soybean bulls took some risk off the table this week as the forecasted rains fell, improving the overall soil profile for the time being. The South American crop, specifically soybeans, will be watched closely regarding its impact on world supply. Corn held most of last week's gains as the USDA tightened ending stocks a little more than folks expected, but did come off the recent highs due to the South American moisture headline. Wheat continued its rally after the report as Russia bumped its export tax higher. There is a potentially bullish headline looming regarding weather with a good chunk of wheat country lacking moisture. The situation will become more pressing as wheat breaks dormancy. This recent rally has opened up a lot of opportunity. It might be time to take advantage. Questions? Give us a call. 888-452-8751. I'm Darren Van Vactor. Be safe and have a great week.
Well, that's our show this week. Be social with us online, KansasAgReport.net, or on the social media channels. We continue to work our way through this pandemic, and so we all need to do our part. Wear a mask, social distance, wash your hands several times a day, and really, if you're not feeling well, please stay home. Let's continue to be Kansas strong. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Kansans are saving money and getting quality coverage with Kansas Farm Bureau health plans.
We've had the Kansas Farm Bureau health plan since January. Had great success using it. We picked up some prescriptions and that was fully covered, and that was amazing to us because years past we've had the flu in our household and we've had to pay about $115 out of pocket for that one prescription. So knowing that we have the ability for an antibiotic or things like that we may need, that it's covered, is a really great feeling.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.